It's a story game. I'm almost done with the game. It's definitely a horror game though. There might be a few jump scares, by the way.
Alright. Does it have like a deep story? Like what you're reading right now? Is it all part of some story?
Yeah, right now I'm trying to get to a lab to get some experimental medicine for my wife who's sick from the radiation and stuff.
Oh, I see.
Basically, it's a post-apocalyptic game. This is basically the last level of this game, though.
Have you played the game before? Like through it before?
This game?
Yeah.
No, this is my first time playing it.
I'll put your stream on my second screen while I work on the video. Is that like some kind of laser gun?
Yeah, this is a railgun. This is the really powerful weapon. But it's only given to you at the last level. Here.
I see.
Because you're gonna need it, basically.
How scary would you say the game is?
Compared to other horror games, not that scary, because it's a shooter game, so you can just basically just shoot all your monsters. But like compared to other horror games, most of them are scarier than this. But there's a lot of spiders, so if you're afraid of spiders, it's pretty scary.
Yeah, I guess I'm afraid as normal people are. I don't have like arachnophobia or anything.
Yeah. To be honest, I think the older games are scarier. This is the third game of the series. The old games were scarier because they were like
Like,
This game's open
and-
world, so I mean like it's combined linear storytelling and open world. But
like, is it like a main story with side quests, or
yeah, kind of.
wait, do RPGs only third person?
No, RPGs can be first person too.
Okay.
Skyrim.
So like, what makes an RPG an
RPGs
RPG?
are role kit. Oh, it's in the name. It's a role-playing game. So games like Skyrim, it immerses you into like Skyrim, and there's like skills and stuff you have to level up. This game doesn't have that. It's mainly just a shooter game. But like RPGs have like skills and attributes to your character, which is mainly what affects, mainly what makes it an RPG.
I will say these video team accounts sure make getting scenes much easier. Again, I really gotta organize these replays though, because I keep like scrolling through replays and just trying to know what things happen where. I gotta make like I gotta get some sort of like I don't know, like spreadsheet sort of thing, but with files or something.
Like an
I have no
organizer.
idea. Yeah.
If you look at my screen now, like this is what the game normally looks like. Way back.
Oh. Oh yeah, because you had... That's unfortunate. Well, I'm going through the replay of when we acted out Fat Chat and the CDC coming to a halt, and I'm just, once again, just how many times I myself mess up the scene. But it's alright.
Directors are directors, you know. I mean, most of them don't act for a reason.
Yeah, I suppose.
They're better at directing than acting.
I think I'm just really used to doing, like, since I have video team accounts, I can do a lot of it myself, and I'm just kind of used to doing it like that. I think I gotta just get used to doing it. But you make a fair point, I guess. I think one of the things about one of the wargaming people, Vixen and Post, he very kindly gave me this mod that for depth of field, and the one
Oh yeah.
unfortunate thing is that it has a limited range to its distance, and if I want to, like, for example, if I want,
Just not as
if I,
customizable.
well, I mean, like, it has a maximum distance where the depth of field can start, so, like, and also, like, it activates, you can only activate the depth of field near the camera and far away at the same time, so, for example, if I want, like, a tank in the foreground and a tank in the way in the background, I can't, like, if, here, let me show you.
Where you want like 2 tanks in focus?
Here, let me show. Hold on. So if, like, for example, use the pattern as the subject, I think I'll go back here. So this is the maximum focal length, which is just built into the game, I think.
Hmm.
And if you see it down here, like, this is the maximum starting distance, and then this is how much it, trails off. I don't know the actual term for it, so, like, look at the pattern, or, well, if you look at the pattern with the Batchat in background, like, for example, I can do it so it starts at any distance. Let's see that. Wait, oh, I gotta enable it. That makes sense. Um, so, like, if I can change how far. Right now, it just has no drop off. But I can, like, change how far it starts. But the thing is, its maximum distance is right there. So, like, sometimes, like, if I, in a shot like this or something, if I want to have, like, the pattern blurred while the bat chat is in focus.
Oh, you mean so the range isn't far enough?
Right. So, like, there's two sliders for near
Hmm.
focal length, or it starts where the camera's located. So I can, like, blur the pattern like that.
Although like that
And,
doesn't, it doesn't kind of doesn't look right. Cause
right,
like
yeah,
it's just a
yeah.
line separating it.
Yeah, right. So, like, I can't go farther.
Hmm.
So sometimes it's difficult for shots like that. So sometimes I
You get
either
really
just have to
close
get
like
a
that.
little bit closer, or maybe sometimes if need be, I react the same because I'm not used to it. But I will say the double, being able to do it near and far is useful because, for example, Patton's right there, and I have a shot like, let's see, where's the
The
grass
entire
at?
scene's blurry.
Like this little vegetation. See how we have the vegetation in the foreground, then the pattern, and then the trees in the background?
Hmm.
If I want just the pattern in focus, like that, or like that, I guess. then I can easily just, well, by default, like near to the camera, just start to the camera, right at the camera. So, well, first of all, I'll set it so that it drops off right there, and then I can change how much it drops off. But for a shot like this, where the only thing you see behind the pattern is those trees far away, doesn't really matter since it doesn't go over there anyway.
Mm.
But for near, I can like do it like that, and then I can change how much, and I can change if it is like an immediate. I mean, you can't really notice it in a low angle like this. Like you can't notice how it just kind of cuts off since it's like this. But like, so this is just this shot is just like so like what you're saying, like the line. Like basically, we just have a little area that's focused right here. Can you see the cursor?
Um, I don't think so.
That's weird. But well, we just have like a line from here to here. That's in focus. Or if we want to go really crazy, I guess we could do it so that let's see. Well, I guess that wouldn't.
Are
If
you
we
able to
just do it
choose
like
the aperture? Or is all the controls?
what do you mean exactly?
Like, are those four bars the only thing you can use in the mod?
Yeah, just that, and then just the focal length.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
because
Imagine like
hmm,
we
record a
filmed
video
all.
like that.
It's literally that. Um, I would say the mod is useful because see these markers. I
Mm.
can set markers for points of interest in the replay. For example, like when I was finally able to actually act out the scene correctly, like I can move it where I want. And then I haven't figured out the top one yet, but it's something to do with
That for the replay?
yeah.
Well, what I meant by aperture was like how much the blurred parts are blurry. Because you can't. It's
Oh
only like
no.
one. Yeah, it's only like one kind of blur.
Yeah,
So it's
like
like yeah.
you can kind of do that. Like I kind of do that by just oh, changing the like the drop off,
Mm.
and then like I can make it so that like the area in front of the batcha is a little less blurred. Like it kind of drops off less abrupt, but that's the only way you can do that. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I can show you what. Because I have a lot of pictures. I can show you like what difference aperture makes in photos.
Yeah, I've never gotten into photography, so that would be interesting. Wait, what is this? Frame it?
Ignore what's in the photos. Just look at like the blurriness of the pictures.
Yeah.
Can you tell
Wait,
which
one
one's
thing I
more
do
blurry?
notice is how like in the foreground the lights
Yeah, the
kind
light.
of like
They're bigger.
I don't know what yeah.
Well, in photography, those round balls that are really out of focus, that are caused by like points of light, that's called bokeh, which is just a Japanese word for that, a term like blurry thing in the background or foreground.
Didn't know that.
It's spelled like this. And if you look it up, you can see a bunch of pictures like that. So if you want to like see examples of it in the future, you can use that word.
Interesting. How is it pronounced?
Bokeh, like
Like a
basically
bouquet of
just
flowers?
no, like just how it looks like it's spelled is how you say it. like bokeh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. What that makes me think of is like if I don't have my contacts on and like
Yeah.
you're driving out at night,
And that's
like
why humans really like that like blurry part, because a lot of pictures, like if you see pictures with a lot of blurry parts, that can help it look a lot better because it looks natural, because our eyes see that too. And you can tell if a picture isn't natural, kind of, is if you take a picture of your with your smartphone, and basically everything will be sharp and not blurry, unless you get really close to something. That's caused by the size of the sensor of your smartphone being really small.
it makes sense. I'm sure they try to do different. Well, I don't know how it works, but different cheats in the iPhones to try to
Oh yeah, there's
make it.
there's like portrait mode, which basically just adds in artificial blur, but it looks kind of fake, and most people can tell which one is fake and which one is real, like from a real camera.
Yeah. What that makes you think of is how I've seen some photographers who photograph cities, like real life cities, but then adjust the depth of
Oh
field
yeah,
so
yeah.
that
That's actually a special lens. It's called a tilt shift lens. Basically, it makes shit, like you said, it makes cities look blurred, and that makes them look like miniature, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's those lenses are kind of special in the way, like you rotate the lens inside of it, and you rotate the glass inside of it to make a different kind of look. So it makes big things look small. And those are pretty expensive. So yeah,
I see.
I would get one if I had the money for it, but it's very expensive. You can also see the examples in those two pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for the amount of time that I've used artificial cameras and video games, I've only used, besides like a phone, I've only used like actual. Well, let's see, I don't think I've ever. I might have handled like the lens like cameras for photography maybe a
In
few
school?
times. Yeah, just like, but I've never actually like used them besides maybe like somebody had it on them and they wanted me to take a picture or something.
Mm.
And the only other time I've used a camera was for this one film class, but I didn't really. I was only when we were only for the one class, the one time where he tried to teach us how to use it. I didn't use it to film anything though. Someone else did it, so I have like no experience with that. What is this? Add info. There are some things in this mod though, like there's some way to pre-program or program camera paths, but I haven't figured it out yet, and especially because I've no use of it at least yet. Because if I do that, then it'd probably be like a long take, and I'm sure I want to do that again sometime, but that would just require lots of actors at the same time doing all the things at the right moments, and I'm not quite at that point yet. But we'll see.
I think this one gives a better example of aperture. Do you see the ones I posted again?
Yeah.
So the bottom one, the much more blurred one, that's aperture f2.8. The top one is f5.3.
Wait, for the The vegetation?
Yeah. There's 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
So if you do get a more in-depth mod for your depth of field, it might have something called aperture. Basically, the smaller the number for the aperture, the bigger the aperture actually is in real life on the lens. So basically, the more light, the more blur you get, because it opens the lens up, so it allows more light to come in through the lens. And essentially, that means that if you have something in focus, the stuff behind it will be more blurred if you have a bigger aperture.
You know what? I think we had like a week or something on that, or a few days or a week or something in my
Yeah.
one of my filmmaking classes, but I didn't understand how different uh allowances of light into the lens
Yeah,
changes
it's
to
complicated. Most
depth of
photographers don't
field.
understand it past the fact that aperture makes more stuff blur. Yeah, because
Wait,
it's just
so
like light. It's complicated.
so the smaller the opening physically gets, is it the higher the number?
Um, yeah, because you see how I wrote f slash f2.8 like that.
Yeah.
That essentially means like you can think of it as a fraction. So like think of it as 1 over 2.8, which means that the number is physically bigger than 1 over 5.3, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's how you calculate the size of the aperture.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
never
also,
teacher never said it in that way before.
yeah. And also, like, a lot of this stuff is calculated in, like, powers of 2. So, like, light, aperture f-stops, they're, like, written, like, f slash 1.0 and f 1.4. And then, so, like, they're all based on powers of the square root, powers of 2. But aperture is actually based on multiples of the square root of 2. I don't think it was necessary to explain that, but yeah, because
Yeah, it's
that's
still
how I learned
interesting.
these numbers are how they're like that. Because on cameras they only go to those specific numbers. They don't go to like f 1.5 or 1.9. It's only 1.0, 1.4, 1.8.
Didn't know that.
But yeah, I think that stuff only matters if you're interested in photography. I learned this in like a month or two, just researching on my own.
That's cool. I mean, maybe. I mean, yeah, if I ever. I
It's
was literally
complicated.
about to ask if I could see more gameplay of Metro
Yep.
Exodus. I think I gotta go sleep in a few minutes though, or at least yeah, the computer at least. I've been trying to be awake during the day more instead of the night, especially because I have school in I think late August starts.
Oh wait.
What are you trying to?
Oh. I never actually died from that before.
What
I
do you
didn't know what
dive?
to do. Yeah, there was a hole in my gas mask.
Oh, is the I'm guessing the
Yeah,
atmosphere you're in is toxic?
yeah. I need to learn how
Sure
to.
looks toxic.
Mm, hmm.
You know what? Or oh, you know what? That's actually a good idea. If I ever do another comedy video, I could like there could be a scene where they go into like the fourth dimension or something or hyperspace, and I could just decrease or increase the wait or decrease the focal length or whatever, so it goes into like the
Yeah. It's like you
That's
zoom
actually
out a lot.
yeah, zoom out, yeah.
Ooh,
I'm gonna add that to the list of ideas.
I got an achievement.
Oh, what do you get?
It was to basically have you have to use a sniper scope, have your gas mask on, and have night vision goggles on, all at the same time, and then kill 3 enemies. It's called
Oh,
glass scope.
nice.
Yeah, because there's so much glass you're looking through at the same time.
I will say having more RAM than I had previously, it's definitely nice, especially for things like this where I have to multitask a lot and have different windows open.
I have two windows.
Uh,
I mean, I have two screens. Do you? How much RAM do you have?
I had 32, but I just got 64 total a
Oh, wow.
few weeks ago.
I have 16. I don't think you need 64 for gaming, but for making videos, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, frequently I have like 7 windows of World Tanks open, along with like the video editing, like Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro takes a lot. Sometimes I open After Effects rarely. I feel like, speaking of After Effects, I feel like I should try to use it more, especially like, I think, don't look now, but I think next video I'm going to try to do, like, add, rain, like my
Oh, like
video I
special
did a few years
effects.
ago. Yeah. Nothing like too crazy, but just something like rain or something. The other things I've used special effects in World Tanks videos besides, well, the random stuff in the comic is just, well, masking, some masking, just rain that one time, and just one other stuff, but nothing crazy.
Also, I noticed that the police video got like 100,000 views.
Yeah, that was just suggested
Yeah.
because people saw it as suggested on the mouse video.
Oh, really? Which video?
The one you're talking about, the Criminal Tanks video,
Yeah.
it's just because it was suggested by the mouse video, which the
Oh,
YouTube
yeah.
algorithm was.
It got. How many views does it have now? It has like
I don't know.
2 million or something, right?
Something like that, I don't know.
Yeah. Because last time I checked, it was like below 1 million. Then it went to 1.6 million. And then it's a lot.
Yeah, YouTube is interesting.
It's very radioactive here.
Yeah, I can hear the what's it to you?
Geiger counter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have hallucinations.
Oh, wait, actually?
Yeah. Because like in all of these games, you get hallucinations near the end. Because of radiation and stuff.
Oh,
And it's
that's interesting. Ooh, I just filmed a really cool shot of the bat check going through the wall. I gotta say that these destructible walls in this game, pretty nice. Or these ones in particular, at least.
I'm seeing things.
Is that your wife?
Yeah, she's
Or
supposed to be sick, like with a really bad cough. And you can't be down here without a mask. So, yep,